What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video. Now, I know I said that this video would be up no later than Thursday, but I have been literally busy all week. I have been trying to prepare for my trip next week and getting myself together as far as getting the job that a career job that I actually want. So I finally had time this Sunday evening to sit down and make this video, and I hope by this title you guys are eager to watch it. This is my experience of growing my very own Georgia peach. These are things that I do daily, and also a lot of things have been changing because the older I get, the more my metabolism is going to slow down. So before I get into the video, I just want to make it very clear that I am not here to persuade anybody to do what I've done over the past few years. I have never had a procedure done. I've been asked that. I've never used any like photo or video edits for my videos. I've never had to do that. And I just never had any work done. I don't do squats. I don't do none of that stuff. Literally, this stuff comes from genes, techniques, and just daily activities. So before you guys watch the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share to a friend. Talk about it, get into it, take some tips. If you don't, that's fine, but I just want to share this with you guys. So let's get into the video. So I don't know about you guys, but when I was younger, like around 11, 12, 13, 14, I've always said to myself, like secretly said to myself, like I want a big bottom. I see my mom have one, my sister had one, and I wasn't really small for my age. It's just that it was like, dang, they got a lot of stuff going on, but where's mine? In middle school, I had nothing at all. And I shouldn't have, like, you know, it's something I shouldn't have been worried about. And I wasn't really worried about it. But it just was the fact that I was in a house full of females. When I got into high school, I started to notice that, you know, guys were looking my way and was like, oh, she got a little something, something. I was like, oh, really? Okay. So I got to figure out how to get it, how I want to get it. And this was not for attention or anything. I knew I had a cute face and, you know, I was really built nicely. It's just that I knew in the long run that I would want to be in a different space than where I was at that time. So some of you guys may know and some of you guys may not know. When I was younger, I had to get on birth control. This was around the same time. I had to get on birth control and I was living down south at the time. So me being on birth control, which I realized after the fact, helped my metabolism slow down. I was small for my age because my metabolism was fast. And I didn't mean to say for my age again, but I was really small at the time because my metabolism was really fast. I'm from Brooklyn, so there's literally places you could walk a lot. I was doing crazy stuff when I was younger. I was always outside, always running, being active, doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing. Nothing really crazy, you know. So when I got the birth control, I started eating more, I realized. And then I'm gonna give you guys not really a secret, but some girls that have been on Depo, I'm pretty sure they know this already. The doctor asks you what area do you feel comfortable with getting the shot. They even make recommendations when you are small. Like at the time I was really small, so he suggested that I get it done on top of my butt cheek, my right butt cheek. It was right on top of it. So I had it done there and it worked very efficiently. It worked really fast. And I see why they pick the areas that has like the most skin, because it goes through, like, it gets where it needs to get to, basically. So the Depo Purvia, I think that's how you see it, it slowed down my metabolism a lot. At the time, I was living down south, so I didn't have nowhere to walk to or go to. I had nothing but school and home, and I was on the school bus. I didn't have to do anything active down there. My grandmother and my aunt were constantly cooking 3 meals a day. So I was only eating, sitting on my behind, eating all day. I realized as I was getting older that the food would go to my butt and not my stomach, which I really did love. Like, I always had a stomach, but it wasn't as big as my behind. So I took that and ran with it. When I moved back to New York, I was staying on top of getting my shots back to back, which is not good. So don't think that I'm here to promote the birth control, because I am not. I'm not influencing anybody to get on birth control. No young girl, no nothing. I'm just stating what I went through, and I started young. I slowed down my metabolism a lot. That's for one. I seen girls drinking the oil thing. I forgot what's the name of it. I know it's like epitamine, something like that. And I wasn't too fond of it then. I just was like, I don't need that. Like, I got my techniques down packed. I didn't have to hit the gym. I didn't have to do anything crazy besides eat food. And I used the fact that I was younger as my advantage, because I was able to, you know, get a lot of that weight to my butt and not to stick in my stomach, because my metabolism still had some speed to it, but it also had slowed down. And I was just not really active. I was still active living in the city, but it wasn't as much as when I was younger. By the time I hit high school, I was a little bit more lazy, but I was still walking to school, you know, getting around and stuff, making sure my body was active. But I was also eating foods like soul food a lot. Now that I have gotten older, a lot of things have changed. But in college, after I left high school, in high school I had already built my frame up. In college, I had went through a phase of depression. And it's very common for people that go away for the first time being on their own. For me, it wasn't really hard for me being on my own, because I had already went through some stuff where I was already on my own. But for college, me being away so far and not having access to my family when I wanted was really hard for me. And a lot of people that I know from the city, and I went to school upstate, so it was really, really like a stranded kind of area. I didn't have a car. We were still doing some walking. Me and my roommates, my associates, everybody, we were just all doing some walking, but it was only but so far. So during my slight depression phase, I would just eat. I literally came in contact with the freshman 15 my first year of college. And it might have been more. Honestly, it might have been more, because all I had to do was get up in the morning, get myself together, go to class, go to the caf, and go back to my room. I was not into anything really physical my first year of college. I would sit on my butt and still eat. Mind you, I was still on birth control, so my body was fully developing into a nice shape. My behind was getting rounder. I made sure that I wasn't being sloppy, lazy. I still was being more active, but I never did squats. People ask me that all the time. I never did squats, and I never had any work done. I just simply slowed down my metabolism using one common way, which is birth control. So after I left college, I was living on my own, still being a little bit active, but it was slowing down once I learned how to drive. I didn't have to go nowhere far because I had a car. And then there was this thing that came into play that I moved to Atlanta to get my butt done. I have heard people say that. They probably were joking. I don't know. Because when I moved to Atlanta, 2 years after I had graduated college, I was going to another university, and it was a HBCU. Now, that's full Black in effect. The food, the culture, everything is Black. I was on a different kind of birth control at this time. I got on the implant, Nexplanon. I was on Nexplanon at this time, and it also slowed down my metabolism. I really think it's the best birth control, honestly, for me. And in Atlanta, I was depressed. I had crashed my car 2 weeks after I moved there. I was depressed, so I went back to eating. And I didn't realize that this time, because I was older, 21, 22, my metabolism was not picking back up. It was really slow. So this food started hitting my stomach now and not my butt. And that's what I'm working on now, because I just let it get out of control. But me being in the Atlanta air, something about the Atlanta air that grows that Georgia peach. Now, I'm not going to recommend move to Atlanta, even though I would, but not for the butt, but for the culture. The food down there is literally incredible. I don't know what's put in the food. It's a lot of calories. I know that for a fact. It's made with that home style black love. And months after I moved down there, I had took this picture. It wasn't even months. It was maybe almost a year for homecoming. I took this picture of my body after being down there from January to October, November, around this time. It was homecoming. And I realized how big my butt was from being down there, and also the years of me slowing down my metabolism. That was my main thing. And I made sure that my plate was always full. So I hope you guys didn't think that this video was about any type of procedures or like exercises like squats and stuff like that. Every day I'm also keeping my butt moving too. Like I'm doing like little butt exercises. You know what I mean? When you make one butt cheek move, another one move. I do that all the time. I keep the blood flowing in it. Right now, I'm currently watching what I eat to make sure that my stomach doesn't get too big, because it's already really big for me. I don't want it to get outrageous. I want to keep my small frame. I want to get back my small frame, actually. And I want to keep my butt in check. So literally me starting young helped me. And I'm pretty sure, girls, if you're 20-something years old, this may still help you too. If you don't believe in birth control, but you want a big butt, there's always ways around that. But for girls who are open to it, do your research, explore it, but you don't have to do it just simply because that's what I did. A lot of people has asked me, what are my techniques? And like I told them, it's a lot to explain, because it's a lot of risk factors too, even without it being a procedure. The food. I have to slow down with my sugar intake because I'm having like a lot of like health risk with that. I know I can't eat that day in and day out. Also, if your metabolism is too slow, it can pick up really fast for your behind. But if it's too fast, it's going to be hard to pick up if your metabolism is really fast. Because everything is going into your body and coming directly out. There's nothing to make it stick inside. And I hope you guys liked my thoughts on this. And I hope that some people are able to understand what I just said. Like I said in the beginning, this is not to influence anybody to do birth control, to eat a lot of unhealthy foods. This is not to encourage people to move down south. Those are just the techniques that help me keep my behind really round, high, and firm. I make sure that my legs stay moving to keep my behind lifted up. I don't want to ever have an issue with my behind on the back of my legs, like really low. I like to keep my butt really high. And I am training my waist to be back small. If you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, definitely reach out to me. If you don't have any of my social media, I will attach it below. And I will be having a new video come this week, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. So later, YouTube.